the three major dams on the Klamath River in Northern California have been removed. The Klamath River begins as an outflow of Klamath Lake, surrounded by 250,000 acres of irrigated farmland. This is a hugely productive part of the agriculture sector of California. Overall, this is one of the largest and most significant rivers on the West Coast. This is the now demolished J.C. Boyle Dam. It wasn't a storage reservoir or a high dam of any kind, but served as one half of a pretty clever hydropower operation. You see, right downstream from this dam site, the river plunged into a canyon and lost a lot of elevation. Instead of building a high dam further downstream, they diverted the river through this high-line canal, through a major tunnel, and down the hillside to this power station. This was a very good system. It used the minimum amount of resources to maximize the power output. Also, there's no giant dam blocking the canyon. Pretty clever for 1956. This was the Copco Dam, built way back in 1922 by the California Oregon Power Company. If it hadn't been for these two dams, this entire part of Northern California would have been without electrical power till at least the 1940s. But just downstream from the pair of Copco dams, there was another deep canyon with an especially good elevation drop. Perfect place for a hydroelectric dam. And so the third and final dam in the Klamath was built just downstream at a place called Iron Gate. And this is where the debate over the Klamath River dams really becomes nuanced. Because it wasn't just about the block salmon habitat, it was also about the downstream effects that these dams had on the flowing river. But remember, the vast majority of salmon habitat in the Klamath was not blocked. At the beginning of 2024, the Pacific Core Utility Company began decommissioning its dams on the Klamath River, with the final piece of Iron Gate Dam finally being removed in August. So with the dams removed, what does this mean for the future of the Klamath River? Well, it means an additional 73 miles of river is available for spawning. Combined with access to tributaries, and you're looking at well over 100 miles of new habitat. The Klamath River dams together produce about 161 megawatts of power. At one time, these dams provided the first power ever to this region of Northern California. And right now, these regions out west are heavily emphasizing wind and solar as replacements for hydro. And you won't find a single electrical engineer out there who will sign off on this approach. In reality, it all comes down to cost-benefit analysis. These dams were more or less one-trick horses. They just produced hydropower. And so balancing the one benefit, hydropower, against the downside of the dams with ecology, and the owners of the dams made a pragmatic decision to decommission them. And only time will tell if this was the right decision.